How much money did you make in 2019?
You're gonna put me on the spot.
Today, our journey begins in Las Vegas as we make our way to the City of Angels to meet the one-of-a-kind, Rexx Cummings.
Hello?
Hi, is Rexx there?
You've got the wrong house.
Oh, I'm sorry. 2185?
I don't know. Okay, bye.
I don't know what my the address is next door to my house where I live. I'm not too sure.
After losing cell reception way up in the Hollywood Hills, I found myself unable to find Rex's address. Luckily, only a short while had passed before I finally found the house and was greeted by Rexx.
Like when someone asks you, what do you do for a living? How do you explain it?
For the most part, I just like to consider myself like a serial entrepreneur. Have my Amazon automation, my ticket automation, do stocks, Forex, Airbnb, resell sneakers. So that's something that I've been doing for almost 10 years.
Rexx is among a new breed of entrepreneurs who have learned to leverage the internet to turn massive profits. The remote nature of his business ventures enables him to constantly be traveling. This Airbnb rental in the Hollywood Hills runs him over $1,000 per night.
I didn't even graduate high school, so
Damn.
I missed like half of my senior year.
So what were you doing for money back then?
I didn't work all the way up until I pretty much just stopped going. I played sports. I played 3 sports every single year. I just stopped going to school. Started hanging out with the wrong crowd. Got arrested a couple times my senior year. My parents just, they had enough, so they sent me to Hawaii to go live with my brother and enroll in Job Corps. So what Job Corps is pretty much like a last chance school. It's a trade school. So it's pretty much for all juveniles who have either been to jail, been arrested, and it's kind of like their last chance to make things work.
Well, it seems like a pretty... When did you start kind of, I don't know, doing well? When was like the change of heart?
So I lived there and I was homeless and everything, and then I raised the money, came back over here, started working in a bowling alley, managed the bowling center for about 3 years. From there, I started getting into the medical marijuana business. So this was like the mid 2000s, and then ended up volunteering for a shop in Eagle Rock. Did pretty good there. And then we ended up getting raided. DA, everybody came in, assault rifles, threw everybody on the ground, started harassing people, ripping up the couches, ripping up the walls.
Because why then?
Because it was a weed shop.
It was illegal then?
It was in the gray area, a lot more then than it is now. Even though we had all the proper documentation that they required back then for the city, they just came in and they raided us. And it was through that time where they were doing it at multiple shops. So we had like news reporters come in because we ended up on the front page of the LA Times. So we had news reporters come in after we got bailed out the next day. So this was a federal case that we had to take care of. But when they came in, they looked over like the warrants and everything. It was a fake warrant. So we went with our attorney down to wherever they hold all the evidence and everything to try to find the police report, and they didn't have anything on it. There was like no police report or anything.
So what happened there exactly?
We don't know. We just figured that, all right, well, it's a complete loss. Cases, charges, everything got dropped and dismissed over time. But I transitioned from there to open my own delivery service, which did pretty good. Did some other things in the industry as well, and then continued to grow that for about 1.5 years, 2 years until started getting caught up again. So started getting arrested, Some of my drivers got held up at gunpoint. Some of them got arrested. So during this time, it was pretty stressful trying to figure out like, dang, like this is good money, but is it worth all the stress and everything that's attached to it during this time? And I debated with that for a while, and then started saying, you know what, I got to find something else. So what I started doing was looking into e-commerce. I started going a little heavier on reselling shoes, selling other things on eBay and stuff like that. Started getting into like distribution and manufacturing. And then because I stopped doing everything else, I didn't have a lot of income coming in, so I started driving for Uber, doing like Postmates, Instacart, and all that stuff. But it wasn't something that I could see myself doing at like 60, 70 years old. And I realized that when I was waiting at the Uber lot at LAX, and then I was just sitting there looking around at all the other drivers waiting in the lot, and some of them are like 60, 70, 80 years old. And that's when I just said, oh, I'm not gonna be 60, 70, 80 years old driving people around. So I just started focusing more on e-commerce.
What are we looking at?
So 95 grand in 7 days.
Wait, can you go back to that?
Good reviews. Amazon will release 100 grand on January 3rd. So 10,000 in sales just today.
Now, what are you like selling?
This is a general store. The good thing about this store is we really tried to implement wholesale and distribution. So we used a variety of different wholesale suppliers, some distribution companies, and these are like distribution companies that sell like Pepsi products, Starbucks products, things like that.
Backtrack a little bit. When did you first start like learning about e-commerce?
Oh, so this was about 9 years ago. I had a friend who sold like women's shoes, women's garments. He had a pretty big warehouse in City of Industry. So me and another buddy went there just to try to learn more, and then we were sourcing products from like Alibaba or other different manufacturers in China, and then getting them shipped over here, from phone cases to like solar power toys and a bunch of other 3D printers and things like that, projectors. So going to different trade shows, I started understanding like how you take one product you purchase at a certain price, and then you go to these trade shows and sell them to other sellers to make a small profit on it. And it was pretty good. It was a really good learning experience. Like I got paid to learn it, which was huge at that time. And then just stuck with it, then started venturing off on my own, finding my own products. And then prior to launching my course, I started seeing how there was a lot of informational courses out there that you could purchase to pretty much learn anything that you want to do. And then that's when I just told myself, well, what if I teach people this as well? So I bought like maybe 4 or 5 different courses, just try to see what they're talking about, what they're doing, and then put my own course together in like 3 days, and then ended up launching it. Didn't do any ads or anything, just organic, like on Facebook, friends and family and stuff. Just posting results of myself and students that I had. And then I think I did pretty good. So 175 students in like a little over 14 months at $1,000 a piece. Was good, but it wasn't, for me, it wasn't fulfilling enough. Because yeah, you put a course out there, you can't control and force people to take the course, and not only that, you can't force people to implement everything that they learn in the course either. Yeah. So I just said, what if there's a way where we can just do all the work for them? And that's when I started getting into like automation services, starting off at Amazon, and then just recently venturing into ticket flipping or ticket automation. So I just figured out a way how to automate both of those services and provide it to people who really don't have the time to learn it from scratch.
So do you have other stores, or is that just one store you're showing me?
Oh, that's just one store, probably the most profitable store.
How many stores do you have?
So for Amazon,
yeah,
we're almost at 70 clients, with about 13 to 14 of them generating 100 grand every 30-day period.
Wow. And so those are your clients. How many do you, are just your stores?
I have three. I have 3 stores of my own.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And when you say we are, it's just like you and your team, like the people you employ
Yeah.
overseas and stuff like
Yeah.
that? Okay. So that's separate from your partners.
Yeah. So.
Or some you collaborate on?
Yeah. So they're more like my peers, friends, people that I do collaborate on certain projects with.
Okay.
But when I refer to we, it's basically me and my team who manages all of our client stores.
How much money did you make in 2019?
You know, put me on the spot. How much? Well, what I can say is what I posted on one of my Facebook and Instagram posts is just from my 2 automation services. I think we finished the year right at around $2.4 million. So we just launched them, like the Amazon automation service we launched in December of last year, and then the ticket automation we just launched in August.
Is that in sales or a profit to you?
That's in sales, but our overhead, because it's a service, we're not selling them a actual product. The margins are pretty high. I say our total expenses and costs and everything are probably like 25% of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
If you're doing really well selling on Amazon, you or whoever else, why not keep it under the wraps? Like why try and market yourself, put yourself out there? If you're doing so well, why even bother doing that? That's
actually a popular question that potential prospects, clients, or even some students ask. And then the way that I view it, the way that I look at it is, okay, so I have my store, I'm profiting maybe 10, 15 grand every single month, and that's cool. But if I put out a course, and then that's also extra profit and everything, if I put out an automated service, I'm gonna add that on top of what I already make. So why settle just for one stream of income when you can create multiple?
When you started to become successful, actually have some serious money in your bank account, compare how your like mindset changed on like just everything in general.
My moment came where I started to turn everything around was when I was homeless in Hawaii. Like just living out there, not having anything, like having to bum cigarettes off of people to sell them to other people to get some cash to eat. During that time, that's kind of like when my whole mind just changed, and I said, all right, we need to figure something out, and we need to fix this problem. And the only way to fix that problem was knowing what the problem was, and at that time, the problem was me.
What do you think your problem was like back then? Like
me?
You said it was you, but like what were you doing?
There's a lot of things. Depression. I think depression was the biggest one for me. Like after I lost my dad to cancer, I kind of just blocked out the world. Didn't want to have anything to do with anybody. Didn't talk to any of my friends anymore. Spent like a year and a half to almost 2 years just living in my room, like not leaving the house or anything at all. So after that, it was kind of hard to get out of that. And then it took me a while to finally break out. These are just sales, so we can change it up. We do a 30-day period. That just goes over some of the products that have sold. Other products, 14 grand back. So 30-day period, 300 grand. This month alone, we just started, so we're at 25 grand.
What are some of those graphs and stuff? Just like daily sale rate?
Yeah, so these are just daily sales. So today it's at 10 grand, 118 units sold. Customer feedback, almost 5 stars. Product sales, and then 7-day period is what I like to do. What I like to look at. So, being an Amazon seller, anybody can start a store. Anybody can become a seller, but not everyone is cut out to go through like all the problems and difficulties that comes with selling on Amazon.
Which are what? Like what are some of the main problems?
The biggest problems are suspensions, because every single seller is gonna get suspended no matter what. You don't have to do anything wrong, but the chances of you getting suspended are still very high.
Really? Why is that?
For the most part, it's Amazon protecting their platform. you gotta imagine with the platform that profits and makes that much money every single year, they're gonna be a target. So you have a lot of fraudulent activity that might take place on there, people selling counterfeits. So when Amazon suspends you, they request certain documentation that prove your real business. You're not gonna take advantage of their platform, and you're not gonna take advantage of their customers. So for the most part, they're just vetting you as a new seller, just to make sure that you have everything and you check out. Another one are problems and issues like with returns. Certain retail suppliers, they may say that they refunded you, but in all reality, they ended up charging it back or something. So there's situations like that. There's so many things that can slow the growth down of your account. A to Z claims, negative reviews, metric hits. Those are all things that could prevent you from growing as fast as you could.
So you're doing well on Amazon. You have your Amazon automation service. You have a bunch of other ventures like Airbnb, you said, like real estate type stuff. Where do you plan on going? Will you continue with all those? Is there a time you're going to quit Amazon and just continue with one thing, or what's your plan?
Possibly there might be, but see, when it comes to like the Amazon automation, the ticket automation, it's pretty much the same business model. It's just a different skin. Right. So it's just a different face. So like I've already figured out, understood the infrastructure, and it's pretty easy to repeat. So for me, it's try to find more businesses, create more services where we can automate everything for the client.
And just do that until you die?
Well, no, I think this year is really going to be the year where I can actually start investing more in like multi-unit properties and going a little deeper into real estate.
And then do that until you die?
Yeah, do whatever can continue to bring in some income for me.
So my time with Rexx had come to an end, and on my way back home to Vegas, I had spotted an abandoned market. I figured it would make for a great place to drain the main vein. However, during this drainage, I couldn't help but wonder if this new internet age of entrepreneurs like Rexx would cause more traditional businesses to close their doors. Either way, Rexx has proven to me that in this age, the age of the internet, anyone can make a come up and anyone can make a killing.